get into it. It looks like y'all all took your vocab quiz, which is good because I didn't include the link. And I think left my teams on throughout that day. I don't know why I didn't see y'all's messages trying to tell me that it wasn't there. Anyway, so what am I doing today? Oh, I'm just going to go over 3 more Chapter 37 Lectiones because I suppose we should take a translation quiz on Friday. I feel like this class has become just like a series of quizzes. It's like video games where like all it is fighting bosses. It's just like a boss run. But yeah, we'll do a passage or something tomorrow, and we're just gonna get into that last stretch. We have this vocabulary, which y'all already proved to me, you're pretty good at. And then I just want to make it official. And this is optional. You're not forced to do this by any means. But this class, it works out that it's a small class. It's actually kind of perfect because y'all can all, by default, be the officers of Junior Classical League. And again, it's fine. If we get to August and I get like a schedule going and you're like, hey, you know what? I can't even come once a month to an after school thing to help with this. That's totally fine. It doesn't matter because who knows what's going on in the fall? Who knows who's even going here in the fall? But if you are and you want to do something that, cynically can end up on your college admissions, saying like, oh, I was in Junior Classical League for whatever.
I like my haircut.
Oh, okay. But yeah, by the way, the silhouettes don't correspond. At first I was going to get the stick figures you see on like bathroom doors, but I'm like, that's a weird connotation. So no, the colors and the haircuts and the silhouettes don't have anything to do with y'all. But I do like the names I came up with, and that those might also be a bummer to y'all. But Benjamin Von Flux is Duke Secundus, okay, because you're second in command here. It doesn't actually matter. Jack doesn't actually necessarily get any kind of privilege, but he did do really good on the NLE, so he is Duke's Primus. But you guys have to figure out your own titles, okay? Jacobus Albus, Alia Holland Rakia, Duke's Tertia, and then Anna Colomani. Anyway, the names are cool. Obviously, they're really cool. McKinley is Crux has the best one because Crux is the actual Latin word for cross. You guys are the Miles Ultimus of our little group of officers. So I'm going to have open invitation for any 8th and 9th graders next year. So that's current 7th and 8th graders. Hopefully the 7th graders will mature a lot over the summer. But some of them are really good at Latin. So I'm already picking out the people who I hope can join. Because, yeah, like anybody who's just really good, that includes Ben's little sister, and just all the kids I'm listing. And what this would amount to is that like maybe in groups of 2s or 3s, y'all could come help me run a Jeopardy, like I said, once a month. And we could rotate like every 2 weeks, like, somebody knows Ava Full. Oh, she's in the play. She's really good at Latin. I don't know as a teacher if I'm supposed to be like, these are the people who are good at my class. Oh, your little sister. Interesting. Surprising. But these are the kids who are really good at my class. So there you go. But yeah, and like it would just be a Jeopardy. And I'll be honest, I still have to like figure out exactly what JCL is in terms of like Colorado. But I think it would just be one event in the spring that we go like take a bus to and compete in. And so this wouldn't really be a big responsibility necessarily. But yeah, if you're like, hey, low key, I can't do this. I do like volleyball and track and all this other stuff. Totally fine for the 4th time. McKinley's Crux will eventually take over during the Future Less Vivid story arc once he is inhabited by a vengeful spirit of Nero. And you guys will have to band together to conquer him. So look forward to that.
It's an interesting story.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Vi Victus means woe to the conquered. So that's what he's going to say when that happens. All right. And then something more immediate that's coming up is our final task, or labor ultima, or maybe I should call it the opus ultima. Opus is a cooler word for like work than labor. But okay, so like I already kind of entertained this. I was kind of like spitballing this in class. But I want to see how this goes. No, it's not really like I'm gonna kind of act like it's like an assignment, like a project, but like not really. You'll have to do just a tiny bit of prep, which basically amounts to reading the chapter that I'm telling you to teach. And I looked at the last three chapters. The part of it that happens before you get to the vocab, like the actual part that explains the new stuff, in all three of them, it's like 2 pages each. So you're gonna have to like read 2 pages of the textbook yourself and kind of like try to figure out what it's explaining and try to figure out a way that you can explain it to your classmates before I explain it to you. That's like really all this is. And so I kind of paired y'all up semi-randomly. And I'm actually gonna the part that's capitalized for whatever reason under Ben and McKinley's assignment is explaining that I'm gonna give y'all the slides. So this is not a lot of work. Like but by make the slides, I mean I'm really just gonna look at the textbook and turn what I see into slides. Like it's just very cut and dry. And I'll even like shoot those to you on email or Teams at least the day before, hopefully a couple nights before, so you can like look over that. And then in class, you'll just like get up in front of the class. I'll give you the Mac remote, and you'll click through the slides and kind of explain it. And hopefully you'll be able to answer questions. I'll tell your classmates to be extra precocious in terms of asking a lot of questions to the point of like, it'll be good if y'all can be annoying to the person who's presenting, like, well, how does this work? What does this mean? What does that mean? But it's like, I don't know. I don't think these chapters are very complicated, so it should be fine. And this will last for 2 days. So on one day, you'll teach it and do like a couple of examples. And then the next day, we'll check like a small amount of homework and you'll lead like the translation check. And again, I'll probably just kind of prep you by sending you the slides ahead of time. But okay, I kind of randomly picked Ben and McKinley to do the first set. That'll be chapter 38 on May 3rd and 4th. Let me look at that. So what's that?
I have a question.
Yeah, what's that?
What if you want to make your own slides?
Totally. Thank you for asking. Yes, I might still supplement them and kind of make my own anyway. But yeah, so Ben, do you have?
You could just put it on Teams, and then I could send you something on Teams, and then on the day you could just go to Teams, pull up the thing that is sent to you, and then which should still be in the PowerPoint format because of how Teams works.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And this is technically Keynote or whatever, but I think I can open PowerPoint files if you guys have PCs. But absolutely, even if you make a big, nice JPEG, I can just throw that onto the slide. Yeah, McKinley, did you see that you're going to take over the Junior Classical League next year? I hope you caught that. But you and Ben are gonna teach chapter 38. And so what are those days? This is confusing to me. It is kind of a crunch, not email. Is that next? Is that too sudden? Why did I say 3rd and 4th? Let's see. Am I gonna see y'all before that? No. That's too soon. Why did I say that? Weird.
Are we going back to school on the 3rd and 4th though?
We are. At least that's a plan. I mean, yeah, we are, unless something else comes up. I haven't checked the numbers. I don't know if it's like if the little tiny surge is going back down. I hope it is. But okay, let's change it to 6th and 7th. You guys at the end of that week. So we'll come back on the 3rd. We'll finish chapter 37. We'll probably just like be doing passages and stuff. And by the 4th or the 5th, I'll send you your slides, and then you can send me whatever you want. And then you'll teach your classes on the 6th and 7th. I think I already decided that. I meant to change it. Okay. So that's what you.
I got one last question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make more sense to send it to us as soon as possible? Because then we have more time to revise it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Since y'all are just taking a vocab quiz on Friday, that'll be my little task to write those up real quick on Friday. So I'll try to shoot those to you by Friday. You'll have the whole weekend before the week of teaching it, and then you still have a few days that week. And so let me see if this still lines up. So that'll be the 7th. So we are cramming everything in, because then we go right into 38. That's a little weird, but maybe that'll work. It's like y'all are just teaching the chapters and we're just kind of like doing them as they go. And I'll assign a chapter 38 homework assignment for that Friday for Anna, Jack, and Allie to do. But then like, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday, 11th and 12th. Yikes. Okay. Maybe I'll revise this and I'll let y'all know for sure after I think about it a little more. 12th, 14th, no, how about 13th? One of those days is a Friday, but I think that's fine that you can do your class on a Friday. It sounds like I'm now saying Ben and McKinley are. So yeah, it'll kind of all be back to back. Well, maybe we'll have a day between at least Ben and McKinley's since coming back and like doing it on Monday seems kind of stressful. But so Alec and Anna will hopefully do 39. Hopefully be able to do 39. I'll send you the slides by again maybe the Friday before. And you don't have just because Ben is sounding like he wants to add stuff. Y'all don't really have to. And then Jack plus, and he can pick. So I was like, someone's going to have to be on their own, I guess, or someone's going to have to go twice. I was like, well, since Jack did so good on the NLE, I'll punish him for that by making him be alone, but not really, because he can draw on any of y'all if he wants. He doesn't have to. Maybe he'll want to go solo. I don't know. But he'll do the final chapter, which is kind of crazy. And then we'll still have how much if we finish it that week, so we'll still have a whole week to kind of like review everything and talk about like the study guide for the final, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, all right. Hopefully I'll clarify that a little more, and I think I did work out those dates. I think that'll work out, but I'll mull it over a little more. There's no more questions. I just have these 3 sentences today since that took a little time to talk about. So if you remember chapter 37, basically we're getting this new verb, AOE array. On Monday, we'll have to rewatch that Monty Python clip, which is just wildly relevant to this chapter on 2 levels, because it's not just this verb that's like pretty weird. I'm still scared of seeing it in something like, I hope we don't see a present active participle. Oh my gosh, Ian's, Iantus, oh my gosh. Maybe we won't. The perfect tense forms aren't too bad. But in addition to that, we get some special place constructions. So yeah, now we can just stick a word in what might look like a genitive or ablative, and that's actually the locative, interestingly enough. We have a place to which, where you just stick a place name in the accusative, and you can kind of like assume to add to or toward as a preposition. And then we have place from which, where you kind of use from, or like you might just translate the verb differently. By the way, one thing I forgot to say about the JCL is like I want y'all to be able to like pick the different like sub officers and fight them against each other. Anyway, I don't know, that just like popped in my mind. I think that'd be sweet. So we got these like 3 different place constructions, but they're pretty straightforward. The locative is kind of new, but it's gonna look probably ablative, maybe confusingly genitive, and you're gonna use in or at. All right, and then they do give us the accusative duration, which like big whoop, we already learned that for the NLE. All right, let's do these last 3 lectiones. We did the first 4 on Thursday last week or something, and I'll do 3 more. So totem istatim. I just want to stop and talk about istatim here. This is awful. So way back, I don't know, like chapter 18 or something, you get itos, itatis. That's age or period of time. Istos is summer, so that is unfortunate. Just a little s making it a totally different word. It's great. Athenes from Athenae, Athenarum. Soli to sumus is coming from soleo. That is a new verb this chapter, to be accustomed to. I tried to trick y'all on the quiz by saying it meant to be alone, like solo. It's not. So this is the perfect passive form of it, and it's plural. So it's like we have been accustomed, or like we have been used to, and then, essa, we have been accustomed to be. Is that what I did? Let's see. We were, sorry. No, yeah, have been or were. It's fine. We have been. But where sounds better. And then we're accustomed to be works because then we have essa. So soleo, I suppose, will always take an infinitive, and here it's taken the most basic of all infinitives. So that's how we start things off with this perfect passive verb, soli te sumus, plus an infinitive essa. And then we just have a period of time, and we have a place. So, oh boy, I wonder what that could be. Anybody? We have been accustomed to be something about Athens? But what preposition should we use for Athens? No? No, mic just not 100 mics on. It's fine. Like in, right? And then for the whole summer. So it looks like I was going to build up to this more. So Athenes, you should look at that and be like, okay, ablative or dative. Dative, we have no use for a dative here. So I don't know why it would be dative. And it turns out it's actually not even ablative. Well, it kind of is. It's locative, basically. Now, if you look at the definition of locative again, it tells us this this like mysterious seventh case is identical to the genitive for first and second, which is kind of weird, and ablative elsewhere, which is fine because like that's what you would normally think of as the case for an object of n. But weirdly, that's not even always true because I dictionaried it in Athenes for whatever reason. Its locative looks like an ablative or dative, even though it's first declension. But like that's good because if it was a Athenarum, that would be weird. That would throw me off, and I would think it was like the whole summer of Athens or something. But this is just weird custom to be in Athens for the whole summer. So we have our ablative, or no, I'm sorry, we have our locative. But I'm still going to use green because, like, come on, it's a vocative. I mean, it's an ablative, though it will be weird if we do get any of the genitive-looking ones. Humus, the word for ground, and domus, I think those will show up in what appears to be a genitive, but in actuality is locative. So that's the most confusing it'll ever be. Okay, and then totomais datum is accusative duration of time. So we use for. So yeah, this like in-game Latin is you start to see prepositions just disappear. Like there are prepositions in Latin, but ancient Romans probably would not use them very much. If anything, they might affix them to their verbs as like a prefix. But there's just so many ways to get around having to use them. Thus, you can kind of speak more, or an ancient Roman can speak more quickly by just not using, in here, which, that's just one syllable, but still. And then I don't even know what, like we have for with pro, but that's not the kind of for that we're using here, really. So it's good that they have an accusative the duration of time. All right, I'll read this so y'all can actually. This one's really hard, so let's work through this one, and then I'll do one more easy one. We'll be done. But try to take this in and then see if you can see why I thought this was actually a hard one. Corpus ilius militis interfecti. That's a new verb, to kill. Take the fourth principal part. Qui vigenti annos natus mortem obiit et humi nunc iacet sub humo mox in pace requiescat. Oh my gosh. So this one was weirdly weird, weirdly intense. By the way, if I put this on the quiz, which it does have two very relevant things to the chapter, I'll ask the case of this, and maybe I won't put ablative or genitive, or in this case ablative, because that would be mean. But maybe I'll put like locative and dative or something. And it's obviously not dative. And then I'll ask like, maybe I'll make this a fill in the blank. And if you could just say something about accusative of duration of time, that would be good. Okay, but anyway, okay. So this first part, we have a subject, the body, right? And we say ilius militis interfecti. For some reason, the ending of interfecti threw me off. It is the fourth principal part of this verb. So we should be thinking not necessarily verb, but like perfect passive participle, like having been killed or just killed. But at first I was like, why is it like it should be going with the body, which is weird, but like maybe we destroy, it could also be like to destroy. So I wouldn't want to say the killed body because that's weird, but we could say like the destroyed body. But I'm like, so it should have a US ending, right? Like what's going on here? But it didn't. But it's because it's actually going with ilius, militis. Those are genitive. So this is a genitive to go with those. These are two totally different styles of genitives endings. All three of these endings right here. So it's the body of that destroyed or killed soldier. That killed soldier. Yeah, kind of weird. And then we enter a relative clause. It's not too bad, but this was under the heading of the book describing accusative of duration of time. We have this really quick thing where it says it kind of explains what this is. And so vigenti annos, okay, something about 20 years, but then natus. Okay, I think natus could be son, like nata can be daughter, but that's not it. I don't think we have that where it is from nascere, natus soon, to be born. And so it's like, what, to be born for 20 years? Literally, this that's what it would mean. Like, who, having been born for 20 years, but that sure sounds really crazy. And it makes it sound like um, he was literally being born for 20 years. It's not like 4 is the wrong thing there, right? So they just want us to translate this as at the age of 20. And like you would not know that. So that's kind of on me. I didn't explain it. I mean, it's not like this was for homework, so now I'm explaining it. But it was like a little tiny thing at the bottom of this chapter when it explained accusative of duration. So usually accusative duration you use for, and it's just like he did this for blah blah blah. But sometimes you use that to explain how old somebody is, and you want to just kind of like know that you want to say like at like weirdly at is the and age, like age isn't related to any of these words. I guess it's kind of like relate like coming from the fact that they're talking about when he was born. Anyway, that's very weird, and you definitely have to hear about that before you know how to translate that. Anyway, who at the age of 20, obiit mortem, that's one of our new words from obo or obeo. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be who at the age of 20 went up against death
Yeah, perfect.
and now lie
Good. Humi, yeah. What this new word for hummus? It's not deliciously blended chickpeas. It's like lies. Where does he lie?
On the ground?
Yeah, yeah. And I guess we should use in, like he lies in the ground. Yeah, good, good, good. And I think even this is a little weird because we have. Do I have it? Oh yeah. At first I was like, what? He throws the ground. We have iakio, the third conjunction to throw, but this is iakeo, iakera, something we got recently and I've barely seen. That means to like lie dead, not to die, but to like lie dead, or even just to like be on the floor, kind of. But anyway, yeah. So this Humi, what case would this be? Very relevantly, it's I guess he's in the earth. It's locative, and so this is one that because hummus is second declension. This is one where it's appearing genitive, but actually it's locative. So I guess this one is fair game. I don't know. It's only 3 that I'm not going to worry about the lectiones from last week. So I'm just going to be drawing from these 3. I will post the screenshots of these since I know y'all don't have this in front of you. So it's like, how am I supposed to take notes on this? So yeah, I'll make sure as soon as I do this, I'll upload the recording and post these. But yeah, this is locked. That's something I would ask about. Hopefully you could translate this, but I don't know if I would ask about it at the age of 20. Anyway, okay, he now lies in the ground. Locative, looking like a genitive. And then rescura is third conjugation. So I don't know if I caught this. I think. Let's see. Did I translate as future? I don't think it is. I think that's subjunctive. But like, so it's like let him rest in peace, like R.I.P. Right? That's where that comes from. Rescura in Paka it's like a thing. It's a phrase. Soon under the ground. But how do we introduce a jussive all the way at the end? Let him. The body of that killed soldier. Maybe it would happen all the way at the beginning. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to put this on the list. Let him soon rest in peace. Like that's okay. That's fine, I guess. But it's weird to have a jussive happen after a whole bunch of other stuff. Interesting. All right, one more. Frater fuit at East Tom gratis ut. That vocab's pretty straightforward. Gratis is kind of new. It's kind of easy to remember. Cum Roma abiset nihil eos serenare posset. We haven't seen serenare too much to soothe or like to calm down. Okay, let's see. So the brother was or has been. Anyone? Has been so grateful to them. So this is like a dative of respect. Remember, Thomas is usually so or thus or such. But here it's just good. It's just so grateful to them. that, and so we're gonna get into a result clause, presumably. But the weird thing is that like it turns out this is kind of a 3-part sentence. The last part is a result clause. In the middle, we get interrupted by a cum clause, which is a little weird. It's not too weird, but it's like the brother was so grateful to them that when
May I say it?
yeah,
When he departed Rome,
perfect. Yeah, and then what? Nihil.
nothing
Uh,
could nothing was able to
mhm.
serenade.
I think of serenade or like serene. If someone is very serene, they're calm. So it means like to calm down or to soothe.
Nothing
Yeah.
could soothe him.
Not him.
Nothing was able to soothe the men or them.
Yeah, good. The men would actually be okay, but yeah, them's good because it's the same. Like at ease here was dative, but we're talking about like a random group of people. It's like a plural personal pronoun here in the dative, here in the accusative. So yeah, the bro was so grateful to them that when or since now I think I know which one it is. Since he left from, or I think it is when he left from Rome. And real quick, I'm realizing this now. It needs to be had actually, because this thing right here is pluperfect subjunctive. It's just subjunctive because it's in a cum clause, but it do be pluperfect. Kind of weird. So yeah, like when he had left from Rome, nothing could or was able, because this is imperfect. 1 second. Imperfect subjunctive, because it looks kind of like the infinitive. So just make it kind of vaguely past tense without using had, basically, or has, or have. Could not, or nothing could serenade, soothe them. I don't think we actually want to translate as serenade. So is this causal cum clause, the cum Roma adicet, or is it circumstantial?
Causal.
Yeah, it's like because, or not because, but like when he left Rome, this was the result. So yeah, it's kind of a weird blend of a causal cum clause with a result clause. Indeed. All right, and this is, okay, you already learned the vocab, so let's see. Roma here is just ablative, but because this verb means like to depart, you're supposed to understand it's an ablative place from where. I will post this slide. What else could I ask about here? Why did my tenses go away? And then I'm gonna do some soul searching on this sentence. This is real quick, before I let y'all go. I mean, we're kind of done, but real quick. I just want to make sure. I mean, it is subjunctive, right? Respiro, respira. Even though I have trouble pronouncing it, that's third conjugation. And so if it's getting the AT, we beat a liar. I mean, yeah, it's subjunctive, and it can't be doing anything else. So it's almost, I think it's like let the body of that killed soldier who, at the age of 20, which that's weird. Oh no, we're talking about the soldier. So who's antecedent? It's not the body, because a body doesn't have I guess it has an age, but that's a weird way to talk about it. Anyway, that's just weird that you would get through this whole sentence not knowing it's jussive until 25 words into it or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the thing's jussive. All right. Yes, I will post these slides. Sorry, I feel bad for y'all because I feel like there's like so many things about these sentences I could ask, and at this point, it's like I haven't quite. But this one is very straightforward. It's just these like 2 new grammar things, and you want to be able to translate this perfect passive verb well. This one isn't bad. I won't ask about these things because these things are old technically, so I won't ask about these. I would just be looking for you to translate them properly. This one, it's like I wouldn't really have questions about, not necessarily. I just want to see that you translate it well. Maybe I'll put all 3. And then, but this one does have a locative. Let me add that. And it's weird because like here it's locative. Here it's just good old ablative to be the object of sub. Anyway, I think that's good for today. And then, yeah, I would just be looking for you to translate this weird time construction that we're just learning about properly. So maybe it'll be a translation quiz where it's like you just translate this one and this one well, and I only ask questions about this one. So someone make sure Jack understands all this. And then maybe since he wasn't here today, he actually has to be deleted from honorary officers. And we can put McKinley as Crux in charge now to avoid the future less vivid Latin War of 2022. I guess I'm kidding. All right, guys, good luck with, I'll post those right away. Good luck with any more e-learning today. And I'll do a stream tomorrow. We'll do a passage. I'll find a passage that I like, and we'll kind of go through it, but I won't take too much time. And you'll be free on Friday since vocab quizzes take, translation quiz, but still, it should only take you, 20 minutes max. All right, I'll see y'all later.
Bye, sir. Have a nice day.
You as well.
Bye.